So, my wife and I travel all the way from Nigeria to the US for a cruise. We get to the cruise terminal and we find out she does not have her passport. Yes, it wasn't good at all. It wasn't good. No. Okay, so this is what happened. We left Nigeria and we went to the US. We flew into Virginia with our sons. Now, typically I carry all the passport, my wife's and my son's, but on this trip specifically, myself and my sons traveled to the US first, and then a week later my wife joined us. And so we arrived in the US in Virginia after my wife joined us, dropped off the kids, and it so happened that my wife also dropped off her passport. Her thought was this: since this is a closed-loop cruise, all she needed was a form of ID, which is true. But in addition to a form of ID, she also needed her birth certificate. This she did not know. We flew to Miami. We spent the night at a hotel, the Hilton, and this is how the day started.
You're smoking, bro.
I was thinking it was another room. Anyway, where is our Uber? Can you call it?
No. Yeah, the Uber caller.
I don't know, you don't know.
Oh, sorry. Well, if I do anything, let me know.
Yes. No.
Really?
I don't have my passport, so you didn't tell me about passport.
So this is the point where we realized that she needed a passport or a birth certificate, and she had neither of those. At this point, the guy told us that, do we have a passport? And we said, well, no, but we have a copy. Now, a copy of a passport means a copy of the biographic page, which we indeed had, but that was not good enough.
Birth certificates? You're gonna need one of them too.
Not ID, no local ID?
No. in there, you can email it.
I have a copy of it.
A copy?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you have a copy.
I mean, you sent it to me the other day.
Yeah. I have copies of everyone. Where do we get it? Here? Okay. Thank you.
Oh my god, I'm looking for it. In fact, there's no way.
Check it right in. Yes.
Anyone with an iPad? There are more agents in the back, guys. Move over here and they'll cut everything out for you, okay?
Okay. No, it's too late. I mean, I thought ID would do. Wait, where's my phone? Okay. I'm trying to find my own concept.
You know that you brought the green brown thing, right?
No.
So we went through this motion, we tried to check in, and the lady took our documents, and it almost seemed as if she was saying, oh, that would work out, but no, it didn't work out. She actually took all our documents, took it to another lady, and the lady said, yes, you need a birth certificate with a government issued ID or your passport. And without your birth certificate or your passport, you are not cruising. So at this point, we had concluded that, yeah, most likely we were not going to cruise. My wife was trying to say, hey, you know what, you just go and I'll just stay in Miami till you return. I was like, no. I mean, really? Get to the counter and, you know, 2 thumbs up to Royal Caribbean. We got to the counter and the lady asked my wife, first question she asked my wife is, were you born in the US? Yes. What state were you born? Ohio. And so she gives my wife a number and my wife calls Ohio, I think it's the registry for birth, for records, I don't know. Well, my wife calls them. And the lady on the line first said, yeah, you know, it's going to take a few days for us to send your birth certificate to you, maybe a day or 2. You have to pay, I think, $25. It was just, I'm not quite sure what the amount is, but something like that. And we're like, 2 days? Wow, that's not going to work for a 4-day cruise. Anyways, while they were having a conversation, the lady said, wait, are you going on a cruise? And my wife said, yes. And so the lady said, you know what, I'll transfer you to another number and perhaps they can help you. So she transfers my wife. It sounded like it was a hospital or I don't know. And the lady said, oh, you're going on a cruise? My wife said, yes. And she said, oh, sure, we'll send it to you. You have to pay this amount of money and then we'll email it to you and then we'll actually send you a hard copy. So my wife spent about probably 30 minutes on the phone. They emailed the birth certificate to Royal Caribbean. That's the email that the lady at the counter provided to us. They emailed a copy to my wife. So lo and behold, we were able to cruise.
All the time. I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even bother.
I'll check this straight in.
There's no hope. But it's interesting.
Thank you. We don't land, though.
Take a photo.
We don't land.
Where we thought, oh my God, after months of preparation, the cost, everything, we were actually not going to cruise. To a point like, oh, absolute relief, we are finally going to cruise. So I am going to give you some pointers, probably in another video, on what you need to do, or the documents you need and what you need to do when you're going on a cruise, or if you're traveling at all. If this was helpful to you, give us a big like and subscribe to this channel. Anytime I have information, especially for international trips and cruising in places beyond the US, you may need some information on visas, on your travel documents. Just hit subscribe, and once those videos come out, you'll be alerted and you'll have more information. Thank you and have a great day.